shop around a little bit around enterprise tools because they're extremely important. I mean, I work day to day in corporate, and we're required to use certain tools. So having the ability to like have something cleaner and more simple does definitely give me hope for enterprise technology because sheesh, I mean, some of these systems, they are old as dirt. And Atlassian is coming in with swinging really hard, with their products. So it's really interesting. It's really cool stuff.
To jump on that, Atlassian is over 20 years old. I think this is their 21st or 22nd year in business. So some of their solutions, are fairly old. However,
I've used Trello forever. Yeah, Trello, I didn't even know was them.
Oh, they purchased Trello 5 or 6 years ago. Maybe at least 5 years ago. They purchased Trello, so they didn't actually. It was an acquisition, but there's a lot of Atlassian products that are acquisition. But what I was going to say is Atlassian has done a good job at making their tools relevant or keeping their tools relevant. Unlike a HP or IBM, where there was little to no innovation in the last 10 years of the majority of their tools lifespan. So in an earlier video, I was picking on ClearCase and using an example in Rovo, if you remember. ClearCase started in the really had its foundations in the late 80s, but it went public in the early 90s, and it had a lot of innovation until IBM came along. And when IBM bought the company that currently owned ClearCase at the time, innovation stopped. And you can still buy ClearCase, but other than a few logo and splash screen changes, it hasn't changed since good 20 years. Now, they could have been just as innovative as Atlassian has been. The current version of Jira looks nothing like the version of Jira that came out in 2002, 2003. They've kept up, they've changed. The cloud architecture for Jira is nothing like the server architecture was when they forked the two code bases. They're doing things in the cloud that are very, very different than what's available and how they're doing it on the server side, or I should say data center side.
So you think that the leadership has been making the right decisions to kind of lead this company? Or is it by chance?
100%. And they never got acquired. And getting acquired is although Atlassian has acquired a lot of products, not all of them are still available. But they've got a better record than most by keeping their acquisitions relevant and building it into the portfolio. But if you take, let's pick on HP instead of IBM for a while. And every time they acquired someone, you never heard of that tool again. Or if you did, there was no innovation in that tool. That tool never changed. So that's the big difference. And so if Atlassian was to ever get acquired, you would most likely see that. And I don't know if this goes to the what do you want to call it, like the corporate raiders. I'm picturing a scene from a Monty Python movie, but they're just coming in and trying to get as much value out of what's there. They're not interested in carrying the
like
product.
Private equity kind of.
Yeah, the private equity guys. That's what I was trying to think of. They want to milk the maintenance money out of it and sell off everything they can and do the bare minimum. Lay everybody off and let's just make money on licenses, and because all these people are stuck using these tools because Jira is so sticky. It will be great for innovation for other companies, but if Atlassian to get acquired, I equate it to my story that I tell about Micro Focus, and That's outdated already because Micro Focus sold most of their assets to a company called OpenText. But my story on Micro Focus is if once you find out that your tool vendor is acquired by Micro Focus, find another tool because Micro Focus was the place that tools went to die.
To die. Wow.
Once Micro Focus acquired a tool vendor, that tool vendor, massive layoffs. The only thing they cared about was maintaining maintenance revenue. They tried. They would keep a sales staff on to keep renewing licenses, but there
Kind
was
of
never
happening
any
on Twitter right now.
yeah, yeah, like Twitter. Yeah. So yeah, that's a whole nother thing.